In this video, I'll show you what happens if we spin a square piece of metal. Hey, I'm James, and this is another one of my metal spinning videos. If you've seen a couple of the other ones, you'll see that I'm starting to explore different outside shapes rather than just spinning a circle. And so this is another one in that kind of mini series. And what we're going to do today is just spin a square piece of metal. And as usual, I'm starting with a blank of fully annealed aluminum. It's an alloy 1100, which is just nearly pure aluminum, dead soft. And we're not going to be able to trim the outside edges, so you need to have it centered as well as possible. So once you start spinning, there's not really any adjustment of that outside shape. So it'll kind of end up a little bit like this. So you'll see those points of the square start kind of pointing upwards, or you could leave them kind of flanged out or something like that. And I've got the blank prepared. This is about a smaller 2-inch blank. And just because you can't trim or anything, whatever position you set it in, whether it's centered or off-centered, is how it's going to end up in the final spinning. So I've just marked the corners and have it centered up there. And then as usual, I'll just need to spin the foot to seat it onto the chuck first. And then I'll change out the follower block to spin the rest of the form. So let's get started. So I've already lubricated the blank with just a paste wax, and I'm going in and just working at the bottom of the piece so that it'll grip tightly onto the chuck, and then I can switch it out with a different follower block so that it'll be best supported while I'm spinning. So that's probably as much as I need to do there. So I'll stop for a second and switch that out. And this would work obviously with any size. I'm just doing a small one just so it goes a little bit faster for the video. And there's always this phase of switching out the follower block. And I just do that because a larger follower block will support the metal blank better, but it doesn't let you get the tool in there to really get it housed well. So if I was making a lot of these, obviously I would, you know, spin the first 10 and then stop and switch it out and everything. So we have the larger follower block, reset the blank in place, make sure everything's nice and tightened down, and then we'll just keep on spinning here. So with any of these shaped blanks, what you need to watch for is, in this case, the points of the square. There's much less material out there, so it's not going to give you any resistance against the tool. So you need to just watch the silhouette of the spinning and make sure that you're not going to try and push that over too quickly and cause a wrinkle or anything. And you're going to hear some noise from the spinning, and that's just because the tool is skipping on and off the points as it's spinning. But you can see it's starting to develop kind of an interesting form between the curved 3D portion and sort of that flatter plane of the original square. And you could certainly choose to keep it out, sort of perpendicular to the axis of rotation, or bring those points up. But an area that you really want to watch is that low point, because that's where it could wrinkle or tear. So just kind of keep going, and then deciding when the piece is done is obviously a personal choice, depending on the form you want to develop. And I'll periodically stop the piece and just see how things are developing. And it's a little bit off center, but again, just for a quick demo piece, that's okay. We'll just kind of keep going and see what happens. And here you can see the starting to spin the points up a little bit. And again, they're not going to want to sort of follow that curvature of the spinning because it's much less material here, so they're going to tend to facet or just remain flat. So that's a consideration. I'm just going to keep going at this point just to see what happens, sort of show you different possibilities. And as you're getting towards the end, you definitely want to check, because like I said, these low points can be that point of where it might tear or wrinkle. And like I said, I'll just kind of keep going, get those last little points spun up there. And I'm exerting almost no force at the end of the stroke because there's almost no metal sort of resisting. And you can see how it's gotten slightly out of square or out of center. But I think that sort of gives you a sense of things, so I'll just pop it off the lathe there, give you a look. And you can sort of notice how the different, with it being slightly off center, some of the points are a little higher or lower, but didn't really wrinkle or tear like I've seen on some other shaped spinnings. So that's something to certainly give a try, and let me know how it goes for you. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you can hear from me when I post future videos. Thanks for stopping by.